Welcome to my channel. Have you ever spoken English and people didn't understand you even though the words were correct? What if I told you that one small mistake might be breaking your English without you knowing it? Today, we fix 5 highly common English mistakes that almost everyone makes. Comment below. Do people ask you to repeat yourself in English? Chapter 1. Why good English still sounds wrong. I remember a time when I thought my English was good. I knew many words. I understood grammar rules. I could read simple books and even write short paragraphs. But when I spoke, something strange happened. People leaned forward. They asked me to repeat. Sometimes they smiled politely, but looked confused. Inside my heart, I felt small. I thought I said the correct words. Why do they not understand me? That feeling hurts. It makes you quiet. It makes you doubt yourself. If you feel this way, you are not alone. Many English learners feel confident inside their head, but lost when they open their mouth. This chapter is for you. Most learners believe English problems come from a lack of intelligence. They think smart people speak English well and weak students fail. That idea is wrong. Very wrong. I have met many intelligent people who struggle to speak English clearly. I have also seen simple learners speak with confidence and clarity. The difference is not the brain. The difference is awareness. English can sound wrong even when it is technically correct. This is the painful truth nobody tells beginners. You may be doing everything right and still sound unclear. And when nobody explains why, you start blaming yourself. When I was a beginner, I thought English was about words. Learn more words, and you will speak better. That is what I believed. So I memorized lists. I wrote words again and again. I felt proud when I recognized them in books. But when real people stood in front of me, my words disappeared or they came out in a strange way. My voice felt tight. My mind felt slow. I started thinking before every sentence. That thinking killed my confidence. I sounded unsure even when I knew the answer. This is where many learners get stuck for years. The biggest problem is not vocabulary. It is not grammar either. The real problem is that English has small hidden rules that beginners never notice. These rules are not written in books. Teachers rarely talk about them. Native speakers follow them naturally. Learners break them without knowing. That is why your English feels broken, even when it looks correct on paper.
When you understand this, something changes inside you. You stop feeling stupid. You stop feeling scared. You realize this is a skill problem, not a personal failure. Think about how you learned your first language. Nobody corrected your grammar in the beginning. Nobody asked you to speak fast or perfectly. You spoke slowly. You made mistakes. People understood you because your intention was clear. But with English, we do the opposite. We pressure ourselves. We want to sound perfect from day one. We copy fast speakers. We think in rules. This creates fear. Fear blocks clarity. And when fear blocks clarity, English sounds wrong. I want you to pause for a moment and be honest with yourself. Have you ever stayed quiet even though you knew what to say? Have you ever chosen simple words but still felt misunderstood? Have you ever felt that English is inside you but cannot come out properly? These feelings are common. They are normal. They mean you are learning. But without guidance, these feelings turn into silence. And silence is dangerous. Silence stops growth. In this video, I am not here to impress you with difficult English. I am here to free you. I want to remove the invisible walls that stop your English from flowing. We will not study like a school exam. We will understand English like real life. Slowly, clearly, kindly. You do not need to change who you are. You only need to change a few habits. Very small habits. That is good news. Many learners quit too early because nobody explains the why. They only hear practice more, but practice without direction is tiring. It feels like running in the dark. You move, but you do not know where you are going. In this chapter, I want you to see the light. English sounds wrong not because you are wrong, but because you were never shown the full picture. Once you see it, the confusion starts to disappear. By the end of this chapter, I want you to feel calm. I want you to feel hopeful. You are not broken. Your English is not broken. It is just unfinished. And that is okay. Learning a language is not a race. It is a journey. Every step matters. Even this moment matters. Because you chose to learn instead of giving up. Chapter 2. Mistake 1. Saying the right word in the wrong way. I want to start this chapter with a truth that may surprise you. Many English learners know the correct word, but they still say it in a way that sounds wrong. This is one of the most painful mistakes because inside your mind you feel confident. You think, I know this word, but when it comes out of your mouth, people pause. They tilt their head. They ask you to repeat. In that moment, your confidence drops. You feel confused. You feel embarrassed. And slowly, you start speaking less. If this has happened to you, please listen carefully. This is not your fault. When I was learning English, pronunciation was my silent enemy. I could read a word perfectly. I could write it correctly. But when I spoke it, the sound betrayed me. English words are not spoken the way they are written. This is the first shock for beginners. In many languages, letters are honest. They sound the same every time. English letters are not honest. They change. They hide. They surprise you. Nobody tells beginners this clearly, and that creates frustration. Let me explain this in a simple way. English is a sound language, not a letter language. But beginners learn it like a letter language. We see the word. We pronounce every letter. We believe that is correct. But English does not work like that. Some letters are silent. Some sounds change. Some words look easy but sound completely different when spoken. This is why native speakers understand each other easily. They follow sounds, not spelling. Learners follow spelling, not sounds. This creates a gap. Think about how many times you learned a word from a book. You memorized it. You felt proud. Then one day you tried to say it in front of someone. They did not understand. You repeated it slowly. Still confusion. That moment hurts deeply because it feels unfair. You did your part. You studied. But English demands something more. It demands listening. Most beginners are shy listeners. They listen to English, but not deeply. They focus on meaning, not sound. They understand the idea, but ignore how the word actually moves in the mouth. Native speakers do the opposite. They feel the sound. They feel where the tongue goes. They feel the rhythm. This is why even simple words can sound wrong when we say them. It is not about intelligence. It is about training your ear. Here is something important I learned after many mistakes. You cannot fix pronunciation by reading more. You fix pronunciation by listening more. Slow listening. Careful listening. Listening without pressure. When I stopped trying to speak like a book and started copying sounds like a child, my English changed. I did not become perfect, but I became clear, and clarity is more important than perfection. Many learners believe they must sound like native speakers. That belief creates stress. Stress tightens your mouth. Stress makes your voice weak. Instead of aiming for a perfect accent, aim for clear sounds. If people understand you the first time, you are winning. English is a communication tool, not a beauty contest. Your accent is not your enemy. Unclear sounds are. One simple mistake learners make is rushing words. They pronounce every letter quickly. English needs space. Some sounds need time. Some words need pauses. When you rush, sounds crash into each other. Native speakers stretch important sounds and relax the rest. This is why their speech feels smooth. You can learn this. Anyone can learn this. But first, you must slow down. I remember the day I decided to slow my English. I spoke fewer words, but I spoke them clearly. Something magical happened. People stopped asking me to repeat. They started listening calmly. That small change gave me confidence. Confidence made me speak more. Speaking more improved my pronunciation naturally. This is a powerful cycle. Clear speech creates confidence. Confidence creates practice. Practice creates improvement. Another hidden problem is learning pronunciation alone. When you only read silently, your brain invents sounds. Those invented sounds become habits. Habits are hard to break later. That is why listening from the beginning is so important. Even if you understand only 30%, your ear is learning the music of English. That music guides your mouth later. I want you to remember this sentence. Say it slowly in your mind. English is heard before it is spoken. Do not fight sounds. Absorb them. Let them sit in your mind. Repeat gently. Do not punish yourself for mistakes. Every wrong sound is a step toward the right one. Chapter 3. Mistake 2. Translating from your language before speaking. Before I say anything else, I want to tell you something important. If you translate in your head before speaking English, you are not weak. You are not slow. You are not bad at languages. You are normal. Almost every English learner in the world does this. I did it too, for a long time, and this one habit silently broke my confidence more than any other mistake. This chapter may feel personal, because it touches the deepest struggle inside your mind. I remember standing in front of someone who asked me a simple question in English. The question was easy. I understood it. But instead of answering, my brain went somewhere else. First, I changed the question into my own language. Then I created an answer in my language. Then I tried to convert that answer back into English. While all this was happening, the other person was waiting. Seconds passed. My heart beat faster. My mouth felt dry. And when I finally spoke, the sentence came out broken, slow, unnatural. That moment killed my confidence again and again. Translation feels safe at first. It feels logical. You think, this is how learning works. But translation is like a heavy bag you carry while running. You can move, but slowly. English speaking is not a written exam. It is real time. Life does not wait for translation. Conversations move forward. When you translate, you are always late. And when you are late, you feel pressure. Pressure creates fear. Fear blocks fluency. Many learners believe fluent speakers are fast thinkers. That is not true. Fluent speakers are not translating. They are responding. Their brain connects directly to English. Your brain can do that too, but only if you stop forcing translation. This is the hardest step emotionally, because translation feels like control. Letting go feels scary. You think, what if I don't find the right words? But here is the truth. You don't need perfect words. You need clear intention. Children never translate. That is why they speak naturally. They hear water and connect it directly to the feeling of water. They do not think of another word first. Adults break this process by overthinking. We want to be correct. We want to sound smart. But English speaking is not about being smart. It is about being present. I remember the day I decided to stop translating full sentences. It was uncomfortable. My English became simple, very simple. Short sentences, sometimes childish sentences. But something strange happened. My speed improved. My fear reduced. My voice became steady. People understood me more, even though my grammar was not perfect. That was a big lesson. Simple English spoken directly is stronger than complex English spoken through translation. Let me explain a simple idea that changed everything for me. Do not think in sentences. Think in small English pieces. For example, instead of thinking, how do I say this full idea correctly? Think, what is the first simple thing I can say? English grows step by step in conversation. You do not need a full paragraph in your head. You need one honest line. Translation also creates unnatural English. Your language has its own structure, its own style. When you translate, you bring that structure into English. The sentence may be grammatically understandable, but it sounds strange. Native speakers feel something is off, even if they understand the words. This is why your English feels correct but still wrong. You are not speaking English. You are speaking your language wearing English clothes. I want you to try something powerful. The next time you hear English, do not translate it. Just understand the idea. Let the idea sit in your mind without words from your language. Then answer with the English you already know, even if it is short, even if it is not perfect. This trains your brain to stay in English. At first, it feels slow, but slowly, something amazing happens. English starts appearing automatically. There is another hidden danger of translation. It makes you afraid of silence. You think you must answer fast and correctly. But silence is not your enemy. Pausing is normal. Native speakers pause all the time. They think. They choose words. But they think in English. That is the difference. Give yourself permission to pause without translating. Pause in English. I want you to know this clearly. You do not need to translate to speak well. You need exposure, listening, repetition, real usage. The more English you hear and use, the less your brain needs translation. This is not magic. It is habit. Habits change slowly, but they do change. If you feel tired while speaking English, translation is usually the reason. Direct thinking feels lighter. It feels free. You stop fighting your own mind. English becomes a tool, not a test. And when English stops feeling like a test, your confidence grows naturally. Chapter 4, Mistake 3, Using Grammar Rules While Speaking. There was a time when I believed grammar was the heart of English. I thought if I knew the rules, my English would become strong. So I studied grammar deeply. Tenses, structures, rules, exceptions. I could explain them on paper. I could even help others in exams. But when it was time to speak, My mind became crowded. Every sentence felt like a math problem. I stopped in the middle. I changed words again and again. My voice became weak. I sounded unsure. That is when I realized something painful. Grammar knowledge was not helping me speak. It was blocking me. Many learners think grammar is their friend while speaking. It feels safe. It feels correct. But during conversation, grammar becomes a heavy weight. Speaking is fast. Grammar thinking is slow. When these two fight, speaking always loses. You may know the rule, but your mouth cannot wait for your brain to finish checking it. That delay is what people hear. They don't hear your grammar. They hear your hesitation. I remember standing in class once and trying to answer a question. I knew the answer, but my mind started checking tense, past or present, singular or plural, correct preposition or not. While I was thinking, someone else answered. The moment passed. I felt invisible. That feeling stays with you. It teaches you silence. Silence feels safer than making a mistake, and slowly, silence becomes a habit. Here is a truth that may surprise you. Native speakers do not think about grammar when they speak. Not even teachers. Not even professors. Grammar lives in their habits, not in their thoughts. They learned grammar after speaking, not before. But learners do the opposite. We want perfect sentences first, and speaking later. This order creates fear. Fear creates tension. Tension blocks fluency. When you speak your first language, you do not think about rules. You feel the sentence. It comes naturally. English can feel the same one day, but only if you allow yourself to speak without checking every rule. This does not mean grammar is useless. Grammar is important, but grammar has its place. Writing, editing, learning after speaking, not during speaking. I want to be very clear here. You are not asked to speak wrong English forever. You are asked to speak first and fix later. That small change changes everything. When you allow mistakes, your mouth relaxes. When your mouth relaxes, your voice becomes steady. When your voice becomes steady, people listen. And when people listen, your confidence grows. Many learners feel proud when they say, "I know grammar." That pride can secretly hurt you, because you start judging yourself harshly. Every small mistake feels big. You stop yourself before others do. That inner critic is louder than any teacher. It tells you to stay quiet. It tells you to wait until you are perfect. But perfection never comes. Fluency comes through usage, not rules. I learned this lesson the hard way. One day, I decided to speak English without stopping myself. I made mistakes. Many mistakes. Sometimes I used the wrong tense. Sometimes I missed small words. But people understood me. They responded. The conversation continued. That was a powerful moment. I realized communication matters more than correctness in speaking. There is another danger of grammar thinking. It makes your English sound unnatural. Real English is not perfect. Native speakers break rules all the time. They use short forms. They drop words. They change structure while speaking. But learners try to speak like a grammar book. That creates stiff English. English without life. English without flow. Let me tell you something comforting. Listeners do not count your grammar mistakes. They listen for meaning. If your idea is clear, they are happy. If your intention is honest, they respect you. Most people want to understand you, not judge you. That fear in your mind is louder than reality. Here is a simple practice that helped me. When speaking, focus only on meaning. Ask yourself, can they understand me? Not is this correct? Meaning first, rules later. After speaking, you can think about grammar. You can learn from mistakes. That is healthy learning. That is real progress. Another helpful idea is using patterns instead of rules. Learn sentences, not grammar formulas. For example, instead of thinking about present perfect rules, learn real sentences that people use daily. Your brain remembers patterns easily. Patterns turn into habits. Habits become natural speech. This is how grammar enters your English quietly, without stress. I know some of you are afraid. You think, if I don't focus on grammar, my English will become bad. But the opposite is true. When you speak freely, you get more exposure, more feedback, more correction. Your grammar improves naturally over time. Speaking is not the enemy of grammar. Fear is. Chapter 5. Mistake 4. Speaking too fast to sound fluent. There was a time when I believed speed was fluency. I watched people speak English quickly, smoothly, without stopping. I thought that was the goal. So I tried to copy them. I pushed myself to speak faster. I rushed my words. I skipped pauses. I thought if I spoke quickly, people would think I was good at English. But something strange happened. The faster I spoke, the more mistakes I made. The more mistakes I made, the less people understood me. And the less they understood me, the more nervous I became. Speed did not give me confidence. It took it away. Many learners believe slow English means weak English. That belief is wrong. Very wrong. Slow English is often clear English. Clear English is confident English. Native speakers do not rush every word. They slow down when something is important. They pause to think. They pause to breathe. But learners feel pressure. They think silence is bad. They think pausing means they are failing. So they rush. And rushing destroys clarity. I remember once speaking to someone and trying to explain a simple idea. I knew the idea well, but I spoke fast. Words crashed into each other. My pronunciation became unclear. I could see confusion on the other person's face. They were trying to understand, but my speed made it hard. That moment taught me something powerful. English is not about how fast you speak. It is about how well you are understood. Speed creates another hidden problem. It hides mistakes from you. When you speak slowly, you can hear yourself. You can feel your mouth. You notice sounds. When you speak fast, everything becomes noise. You cannot correct what you cannot hear. Slowing down is not going backward. It is moving forward with control. Many learners feel shy about pauses. They think pauses mean they are not fluent, but pauses are natural. Even in your own language, you pause. You think. You choose words. Nobody judges you. In English, pauses are even more important. They give your listener time. They give you time. They make your speech calm and confident. Here is a truth that changed my mindset. Fluency is not speed. Fluency is flow. Flow comes from comfort, not pressure. When you are comfortable, your English flows naturally. That comfort grows when you allow yourself to slow down. When I started speaking slower, my voice became stronger. My sentences became clearer. People stopped interrupting me. They listened. Another mistake learners make is copying fast speakers without understanding. Those speakers have years of habit. Their brain and mouth move together. Learners do not have that habit yet. Copying speed without foundation is like running before learning to walk. It creates fear and frustration. Build clarity first. Speed will come naturally later. I want you to imagine something. You are speaking to a kind person who wants to understand you. That person is not in a hurry. That person is patient. When you imagine this, your body relaxes. Your voice relaxes. This mental image helped me a lot. English stopped feeling like a performance. It became a conversation. There is also a power in speaking slowly with purpose. When you slow down, your words feel important. People listen more carefully. You sound thoughtful. You sound confident. Many strong speakers speak slowly. They are not afraid of silence. Silence does not scare them. Silence supports their message. Let me give you a simple practice. Choose one sentence. Say it slowly. Feel each word. Do not rush to the end. Enjoy the sentence. Repeat it again. You will notice your pronunciation improves. Your confidence improves. This small habit can change your English deeply. Slowing down also helps your listener. Many people who listen to English are also not native speakers. When you speak clearly and slowly, you help them. Communication becomes easier. Everyone feels relaxed. That is the real goal of language. I want you to let go of the idea that fast English is better English. It is not. Clear English is better. Calm English is better. English that connects is better. You do not need to impress anyone. You need to be understood. Chapter 6. Mistake 5. Learning words without using them. I want to begin this chapter with a feeling you may know very well. You see an English word, and you think, yes, I know this word. You understand it when you read. You recognize it when you hear it. But when you try to speak, the word disappears. Your mind goes blank. Your mouth feels empty. That moment is painful. It makes you feel like all your study was useless. I know this feeling deeply, because I lived with it for a long time. When I was learning English, I collected words like treasures. I wrote them in notebooks. I underlined them in books. I saved them in my phone. I felt productive. I felt like I was improving. But my speaking did not change. My confidence did not grow. I still struggled to form sentences. That is when I realized a hard truth. Knowing a word is not the same as owning a word. Most learners learn English words the passive way. They see the word. They understand the meaning. Then they move on. But passive knowledge stays weak. It lives in your eyes, not in your mouth. Speaking needs active knowledge. Words must be used, not just remembered. If a word never leaves your mouth, your brain treats it as unimportant, and the brain forgets what it does not use. Think about how you learned words in your first language. You did not memorize lists. You used words again and again in real life. You connected words to actions, feelings, and situations. English works the same way, but adults forget this. We study English like history or math. We collect information instead of building habits. I remember the moment this became clear to me. I had learned the word important. I had seen it many times, but I never used it. One day, I forced myself to make a simple sentence. This is important to me. It felt strange at first, but after saying it many times, something changed. The word became alive. It stopped being a memory and became a tool. That is the power of usage. Many learners believe vocabulary grows by learning many words, but real vocabulary grows by using few words deeply. One word used in 10 sentences is stronger than 10 words used 0 times. This idea changed how I studied English. I stopped chasing big lists. I started building small daily sentences. My speaking improved faster than ever. There is another danger of unused words. They create false confidence. You think you are advanced because you know many meanings, but when real conversation comes, you feel weak. That gap between knowledge and ability is frustrating. It makes learners quit. They think English is impossible. But English is not impossible. The method is wrong. I want to tell you something simple and powerful. If you want a word to stay, you must speak it. You must write it. You must feel it in a sentence. The brain loves action. The brain remembers what you do, not what you look at. This is why speaking is the fastest way to grow vocabulary. Here is a habit that helped me greatly. Every day, I chose one word, just one. I made one simple sentence with it. I said that sentence out loud many times. Sometimes I changed the sentence a little. That word became part of my English world. Slowly, my vocabulary grew naturally, without pressure, without stress. Another problem learners face is learning words without context. Words alone are weak. Words inside sentences are strong. When you learn a word inside a real sentence, your brain understands how to use it. It understands where it fits. This makes speaking easier. Always learn words with sentences. Always. Some learners say, I don't have anyone to speak with. I used to say the same thing. But speaking does not need another person. You can speak to yourself. You can speak while walking. You can speak while cooking. Your brain does not care who listens. It cares that you use the word. Talking to yourself is not strange. It is smart. I want you to stop feeling guilty for forgetting words. Forgetting is normal. Forgetting means the word was not used enough. That is all. There is no shame in that. Bring the word back into use. Say it again. Use it again. English grows through repetition, not pressure. Words are not decorations. Words are tools. Tools must be used. When you start using words daily, English stops feeling heavy. It becomes light. It becomes part of your life. And that is when real fluency begins. Chapter 7. How to fix all 5 mistakes together. The simple daily method. I want to start this final chapter by telling you something honest. You do not need more rules. You do not need more books. You do not need to be smarter. What you need is a simple daily method that works with your brain, not against it. Everything we talked about in the previous chapters connects here. When I finally understood this, English stopped feeling heavy. It stopped feeling scary. It became part of my life. For a long time, I tried to fix my English by fixing one problem at a time. Pronunciation one day, grammar another day, vocabulary the next. I felt busy, but not better. Then I realized something important. All my mistakes came from one root problem. I was learning English like a subject, not like a skill. Skills grow through daily use, not through pressure. Let us connect the 5 mistakes clearly. Saying the right word in the wrong way happens when you don't listen enough. Translating happens when you don't think in English. Grammar thinking blocks speaking because you don't trust your voice. Speaking too fast comes from fear, not confidence. Learning words without using them keeps English trapped in your head. These are not separate problems. They are one problem. English is not living in your daily routine. The solution is not complicated. It is simple, calm, and realistic. You need a small English routine that you can do every day. Not 1 hour, not 2 hours. Even 10 minutes is enough if you do it correctly. Consistency matters more than time. The brain loves repetition. When you repeat something daily, it becomes natural. Here is the simple daily method that changed everything for me. First, listen to English every day. Not fast English. Not difficult English. Slow, clear English. Listen without pressure. Do not translate. Just understand the idea. Let your ear get used to the sound. This fixes pronunciation naturally. Second, copy one sentence. Just one. A real sentence that people actually use. Listen to it. Repeat it slowly. Feel the sounds. Do not rush. This fixes the mistake of speaking too fast. It also builds confidence, because you are copying correct English. Third, speak that sentence in your own way. Change one word. Make it personal. Say it out loud. This step is very powerful. It breaks translation. It teaches your brain to think in English. It also turns vocabulary into real usage. Fourth, forget grammar while speaking. Focus only on meaning. Ask yourself, can someone understand me? That is all. Grammar can wait. Speaking comes first. When speaking becomes easy, grammar improves naturally. Fifth, use English in your life. Talk to yourself. Describe what you are doing. Say simple sentences. Use the words you learn. This fixes the mistake of unused vocabulary. Words become tools, not memories. I want you to understand something deeply. You do not need motivation every day. Motivation comes and goes. You need habit. Habits work even when motivation is low. When English becomes a habit, you stop thinking about learning. You start living it. Many learners quit because they try to change everything at once. Do not do that. Change one small thing today. Maybe slow down your speech. Maybe stop translating one sentence. Small changes create big results over time. You may feel slow at first. That is normal. Slow growth is real growth. Fast growth is often fake. Trust the process. Trust yourself. You have already taken the hardest step. You chose to learn instead of giving up. I want to speak directly to you now. If you are watching this and thinking, this is me, then this video was for you. You are not alone. Many people struggle silently with English, but silence does not help. Action does. Before I end, let me tell you this. English does not need to be perfect to change your life. It needs to be real. It needs to be used. Every sentence you speak is a victory. Every mistake is a lesson. Every day you practice, you move forward. If this video helped you, please like it, because it helps other learners find it too. Subscribe to this channel if you want simple English that actually works. And comment below. Which mistake do you make the most? Thank you for staying till the end. Keep going. Your English story is just beginning.